Welcome to another episode of Goon Squad Anime, where we talk about all the anime that you're going to be watching. I'm Rome from Chicago.
I'm Bravo.
I'm Asian Nick, and today we're going to be discussing Black Clover, episode 119, Final Attack. So on this episode, we finally picking up for where we left off on last week's episode. We can talk about Sekiri and finally where her trident came from.
So where did her trident come from?
We still don't know.
That's all lies. They just put out of nowhere. It didn't even come out of her book. She just randomly has a trident, and now she's riding on top of it.
Well, at least now we see that she's riding on top of it, and it's not just like on her back, poof, out of nowhere.
Yeah, that's crazy. Last time she was flying and the trident was still on her back.
Yeah. So,
dude, it's so micro. You don't even need to think about that stuff.
I think about
You're
this
too
stuff.
picky right now, right?
You're damn right.
So, now we can talk about Yuno and Asta's new form. So, with Yuno's new form, he developed a sword called the Spirit of Zephyr, and then Asta got a new sword. Well, I wouldn't say a new sword, but his sword basically changed and developed into an even more gigantic sword called the Black Divider.
Yuno's a copycat. He's just trying to be like Asta. That's all he's doing. Asta got a sword, now Yuno wants a sword. That's all that is.
Yeah.
He's such a...
I mean, the sword that... Yeah, I mean, it's very is copycat. I mean, it's interesting that he even needs a sword. That he couldn't obtain the same powers just by using his wind spirit.
I don't know, man. Everybody and their mom in their episodes using swords, bro.
Everybody got a sword now.
Everybody got swords.
Everybody got swords.
Swords everywhere.
You got a sword. You get a sword.
It's so stupid. But I will say that Yuna is forcing Asta to do better, though.
That is true. I mean, he taunts him in the episode after, his his powers go away, and he starts taunting him to try to get him to basically peak further and, get even more powerful.
I feel like that's going to bite him in the butt later on, though. Because with all this power, you can see him obtaining more of that demon power that's within his
Right. We noticed that, upon getting his Black Divider sword, that, most of his hair started to grow even more blacker, and he developed like a small horn. So with that, I mean, what do y'all think might happen? I mean, I think his true peak is when I think he lets the demon take over his entire body. I think when we're going to see his, his maximum form. What do y'all think?
His whole body gets black. He gets his two horns.
Do you think it's going to be like Naruto with his fox spirit? He's going to let the demon take over, or do you think they're going to work together?
No, this ain't Naruto. This is Black Clover.
No, it's the same thing. It's like, Naruto has got his stuff inside him. Also got his demon inside him,
I think in the future we're going to learn a little bit more about like the demon that is inside him, because the guy mentions he don't know whose power it is, but he needs to learn his place. So he didn't mention that a few times. So it's like, okay, so we need to figure out who.
Yeah, the devil thinks that the demon spirit inside him is from his dimension. So I think we will probably figure more about him. I'm just curious if Asta's going to let him take full control, or if he's still always going to be like half Asta, half the demon.
So I see Asta letting him take control for a while, or every now and then during like future fights or whatever, and then Yuno is going to taunt him some more and say, so you're going to keep relying on the spirit to do everything for you? Good. And then Asta's going to be like, oh no, I'm going to do it myself. Yeah. And then Yuno's going to beat him. That's how it's going to go the first time, and then Yuno's the new Wizard King.
You think Yuno's going to be the Wizard King?
Yes, Yuno's going to be the new Wizard King.
Oh, obviously.
I don't think so.
He is leagues above Asta.
I will, yes, but he doesn't want to leave Asta behind. If you notice it, that's why he taunted him.
I get it. He doesn't want to leave Asta behind, because so if he leaves Asta behind, he no longer has anyone to compete against.
Right.
So he's forcing Asta to grow, to force himself to be even better as well.
Right.
So I completely understand that. But I still, at the same time, Asta's never shown that he steps above Yuna yet. It's always been Asta playing catch up the entire series. So Yuna's the next Wizard King. Oh, let's not say next Wizard King. Let's say eventually You was gonna be Wizard King before Asta.
I don't think so. You know, they're going to do a happy story, I think. And they're both going to be the Wizard King at the same time.
Oh,
they can't
They'll
be
both be Wizard King at the same time.
The
That's
first
what's
duo
gonna
Wizard King,
yes,
the first Wizard King without magic.
That's not a thing. You cannot be the Wizard King without magic.
Oh, how do you know? Do you rule the fucking?
You cannot be a Wizard King without magic.
Well, we don't even know. The real king could have died, and could be the real king. Aster could be the
Oh,
Wizard King.
yeah, exactly. There you go. Now they're both kings.
No.
So another thing I'd like to discuss too is like them hinting how might be the Lich and Tetia's, the first Wizard King sister's baby. What do y'all think? Y'all think he is, or y'all think
So I have a theory. So I think that when was turning into an elf the first time, I think the elf soul that is within inside of him is the child of.
So you think their unborn baby is?
Yes, I think that's that because he didn't fully turn into elf right off the bat. So I think that child soul is within him, and that's the elf.
That's a good theory. I mean, I definitely could see that. I don't know, because we still don't know who his parents are. Obviously, he still could be part elf.
I mean,
So he could be.
he still.
Do you think he'd be like a lineage of elven that survived?
Yeah, it was like 5,000 years ago.
500 actually.
Oh my bad, 500 years ago.
Yeah, but we don't know. We don't know how elves
perceive time.
Perceive time.
Elves can live longer than us.
Or they could. They're
age differently.
Yes.
To be fair, all right. So to go against both of that.
I mean, we could have Baby Yoda here.
As Asta grew up, we all know he's human.
Right.
Yuna grew up at the same pace as he did, so you can't say that.
That's true.
They grew up at the same pace.
But I mean, it could be like elves, where they grow up, and then once they hit a certain age, they never freaking age anymore.
Then I wish they kids a little bit longer. Their time would be like, okay, so you're a kid, but you're really 20 years old. No, how old are they now? Like 15? 16?
No, yeah, I think they're 15, 16.
Yeah, so they're still teenagers. They're both around the same age.
That's true. The other thing what y'all think about Yami's freaking move, the Black Cloak Dimension / Equinox.
Yami's pulling these powers out of his ass. Oh my he's too OP right now, alright?
So Yami is better than all the other captains. He's proven.
Obviously.
All the other captains are stupid. They're all stupid.
That's true. I mean, he has magic powers different from everyone.
Yeah, because he did. They keep replaying the same part where they keep talking about how his is rare compared to everyone else's.
Yeah.
Where everyone else, there's someone similar, or someone who has similar powers to them, like all the fire powers.
Yeah.
All the Crimson people.
Right.
They all got fire powers. Yami's the only one with dark.
That's true.
He's the only one with dark magic that we've seen so far. He's the only one with dark magic.
The other thing is that I'm gonna throw another wrench in here too. Is that Yami could be the next Wizard King?
Yami for Wizard King 2020. I'm all for it. Yeah. Yami for Wizard King 2020. Because Julius did lose. Yami has taken 0 losses so far. So
who knows? I mean, technically, the first Wizard King could bring Julius back though too.
He could, like, as his last thing.
Yeah,
like,
as his last
gives
thing.
him his,
he has light magic. He don't bring people back from the dead.
We don't know that.
We don't know that. I don't know.
Obviously, you saw how Sekiri she could technically...
Yes,
all right, let me say, she could.
Yes.
She could still heal him. I mean, if not, yes. I'm all for Yami 2020.
Exactly. Yami 2020 for the Wizard King.
Yes.
They need to make it happen.
Yes. The other thing, too, is what y'all think about the final blow that Asta gave to the devil? We noticed that, it's kind of weird that sometimes during these big battle scenes that all of a sudden they go to this, like, crude animation where it looks like, it's a very hand-drawn sketch. What do y'all think about that? Do y'all like it or not?
I personally love it. Okay?
I don't like it. I like seeing the animation. I like seeing the action, nice and smooth HD type stuff.
That's because
I don't mind it being black and white, but I don't like the crude. To me, like, parts of it look very crude. Like someone just did a rough sketch.
But you see anime where the fighting the fighting style is very smooth, very crisp. And you're like, Damn, bro. That's
Yeah.
like the best fighting scene right there. Like I want that. Like I want Black
Yes,
Clover to
because
achieve
even
that.
though they did black and white, there was parts where it was that nice, smooth, crisp, but just in black and white. I'm fine with that, but the crude, hand-drawn, where it looks like he just did it with some pins. And,
It was
Real quick,
amazing.
yeah.
Oh my god, it was amazing. The art style was amazing.
You know.
This is amazing for its time. This is amazing.
So predictions. What's going to happen next episode? I know we don't like to do spoilers and watch the
Previews of the next episode.
Yeah.
Where they gave our own predictions.
Yes. What do y'all think's going to happen?
I think so. For next part, so let's assume the devil's dead or whatever. Everybody goes away. Little people go away. So is it Lemire, Lich, all the elves, Patry? Everyone goes away and everyone.
You think all the spirits that?
Yeah, all the people from the past, they're all gonna go back to normal. Everything goes back to normal, and then these next, say, 5 episodes are just the kingdom rebuilding and recovering from this little tragedy that they went through.
Well, I mean, I think that could happen, but also too, you still have that like purple sludge that's all over the place that's still trying to eat up all the magic. I mean, they still haven't truly dealt with that yet. So they could, be still fighting that while trying to leave or trying to still contain it. I mean, I think that's going to be part of it, and then eventually might start seeing, everything go back to normal, or maybe some go back to normal, some don't. I mean, I think Lich will probably still be there because I mean he took back his own body. He didn't take anybody else's body.
That's true. So he might still stay. But then, so the Wizard King, we agree that he's gonna go away. His body's falling apart. We already saw like his little body start cracking.
Well, she sealed. She did some dark magic.
He was supposed to die to begin with. He's still not the first Wizard King. He didn't deserve that.
So
he don't deserve it.
He is the first Wizard
King. He don't
King,
deserve it.
But technically, they don't explain it till this past episode that they gave him the title of the first Wizard King. He wasn't truly the first Wizard King.
He don't deserve it.
What do you think, Robo? What do you think is gonna happen?
So I think the demon's not dead. All right, so he's gonna pull something out of his butt, and he's gonna have like a second heart in his foot or something. So or maybe in his armpit or something, like Achilles' heel. Like his real heart's over there. And I think the Wizard King and Lich are gonna have to fight him, right? And I think they're gonna sacrifice themselves to defeat this demon.
They already proved that they can't stand against him. Those two together, they can't stand against him.
I don't know.
They already said that it's up to Yuno and Asta to.
Well, we already knew too that Yami was going to have to get involved too because he was like,
he's only one dark magic.
Magic, right? So I mean, I think he's dead. I think the devil is dead, and we're going to be seeing probably them fight that purple sludge stuff because that's probably not gone away yet.
Oh yeah, Sekri, she can just seal that. Like she sealed everything. Like,
aren't they in another dimension? Like aren't they?
Yes.
Yes, they are.
Yes,
so they can just all leave and then close wherever the hell they are. Like just
she can just
close it off like a gate.
That's true.
She can just seal away like she sealed the demon the first time.
I'm sure that's probably what's gonna wind up happening.
Okay, so say the demon is dead, and everybody leaves and they close it or whatever. Do you think the elves are gonna want to stay in their current bodies, or do you think they're gonna want to like pass on?
They'll pass on.
They'll pass on. I think between Lich being back and him like actually telling all the elves what truly happened, I think they're going to basically be like, okay, now we can move on, like rest in peace, basically.
Yeah.
So I do agree with that. One thing we forgot to mention was Asta and Yuna's new forms. Are this gonna be like their new standards, or how's that gonna go? Like they just only do it?
Well, obviously that's probably gonna be Yuno's new standard.
He just pulls out a sword every fight.
Yeah, I mean, and then, if you notice, like every time they gain a new power, they start using that power. The only person that we really haven't seen is his wind spirit.
That's true. Like, where is she?
You would think that she would have been part of this fight. Either that, or is her when he turns into the crown, when he gets his crown, that's when the wind spirit like becomes part of him.
Like I think all her magic power, like how he's glowing green or whatever.
Yeah.
Like that's all of her. Like
okay, that would make sense. That would make sense.
So then when he's not like powered up like that, she can manifest like a little form or whatever, and,
right?
And talk and
stuff.
stuff.
No, I think this is the standard now that they're going to start fighting in. I mean, I see Asta basically because he has two swords. I feel like either that sword that the second sword he hasn't been using is gonna develop into something else. Maybe Lich teaches him.
Yeah, Lich can give him some pointers.
Curveball. Do you think he's gonna copy Yami and carry his sword on his side?
Nah.
Yes, that'd be so cool. He has like a samurai sword.
No, that sword's so huge, it'd be just dragging on the ground. It'd be dragging on the ground.
Not that sword. Let's say he gets to like another sword or whatever. Like out of his book, because he can change the form of his sword. So why can't he change it to a little samurai sword? Why not? Why?
Because obviously bigger is better.
No, it's
just
not.
Like everything
Yami,
in Texas.
Yami just proved bigger isn't always better. It may take him forever to do this attack, but hey, it took a while.
Whatever, that's a big attack. That's bigger and better.
It doesn't matter. He still has a small sword.
Whatever. All right, I digress. So, all right, y'all have any last minute?
Nah, pretty straightforward episode, this one.
Yeah. All right. Look forward to seeing y'all next week, and we'll be discussing next week's episode and future episodes. All right, I'm Asian Nick.
Ron from Chicago.
And I'm Bravo.
Theme music.